Hi everyone, it's Rebecca from Chloe's Creative Cards, and today I'm going to show you how to use some of the new elegant Christmas products. Okay, I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful sparkly poinsettias too, okay, to add to your projects. So we'll get started. So I'm going to make a card today. So first of all, I've taken an 8x8 card blank. I've then taken a piece of gold mirror card and cut that to 7 3/4 inches. So I'm just going to stick that onto our card base using some Collal all-purpose glue. I'm just going to apply a bit of that to the back, and then I'm going to carefully stick that down onto our card like so. Okay. Just smooth that over. Okay, then I've taken a piece of quartz pearl card and cut that to 7.5 inches, and I'm just going to stick that to the card using some foam pads. I'm just going to apply the foam pads onto the card like so, and then I'm going to carefully take off the backs. And then I'm going to stick this over the top like so. Okay, I've then taken the 8x8, the largest holly frame, and I'm going to cut that from a piece of opal pearl card. Okay, I'm just going to grab in my plates. So I'm using our clear cutting plate, plastic shim. Then I'm going to pop on our die, our card, and then our clear cutting plate on top. I'm just going to skewer that die down. We're using some low tack tape just so it doesn't move. So I'm just going to tape around all 4 corners. Let's get some more tape. And just make sure that it doesn't move while it's in our machine. Just like so. Okay, I'm going to flip that over and pop on our cutting plate. We'll just run that through our machine and wait for that to come out the other side. And then just going to rotate that by 90 degrees so you can see it's cut perfectly, but the sides here haven't. So we're going to rotate it by 90 degrees, and then that will help cut that out perfectly. So wait for that to come out the other side of the machine. Okay, and then you can see how lovely that has cut out all the way around. So I'm just going to carefully take away the outer piece. And just get rid of that. Okay, and then we'll take our lovely frame out and just pop that to the side. And you can see there's some pieces that just haven't fallen out. You just need to push those through with either your finger or a pokey tool just to release those little intricate pieces. All the way around. Just pushing out any bits that need to come away. Like so. Almost there. There we go, we've got that lovely border. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some glue to the edge, all the way around the edge of the holly. Okay, so I'm just going to take a piece of scrap paper, and then I'm going to take my chisel tip glue pen, and all I'm going to do is just carefully go over all of the edge and apply glue to those pieces. I'm just going to go all the way around. Just a couple of little bits that I've just missed pushing out there. I'll just carefully remove those. Just carefully tracing over those with the glue pen, just to add a little bit of glue to the edge on the last side. Okay. Okay, then I'm just going to take in a piece of fresh paper, just get rid of that one because it's covered in glue. And I'm going to cover this with our new beautiful Stardust gold glitter. It's so sparkly. So I'm just going to carefully apply that all the way around the edges to cover those lovely holly leaves in that beautiful glitter. Like so, and you can see how super duper sparkly that is. Beautiful. Okay, I'll just put this back into the pot, like so. And then I'm going to stick this onto the card using some foam pads again. So I'm just grabbing some 3mm foam pads again, and I'm just going to stick them onto the back of this piece. And just pop in like so. Okay, I'm just going to carefully peel off the backs. And then I'm going to stick that onto our card. Okay, I can see there's a couple of little areas that I've just missed with the glue and the glitter there. So I'm just going to bring in my chisel tip glue pen and just very lightly coat those in a little bit more glue. Just must have missed those little pieces just with my glue pen. Okay, and then I'll bring our glitter back in again and just carefully sprinkle that over the areas. And tap off. And there we go. A little tiny bit of holly leaf there. There we go. Oh, wrong lid. That's the one. Okay. Okay. So, we've now got the base of our card made. Okay. Then what I've done is I've taken a piece of gold mirror card that just fits just inside of the frame. So again, I'm going to apply some Collal all-purpose glue to this one. So I'm going to stick this one down nice and flat. It's just like so, a little bit of glue on the back and stick that down. Okay, and then I've taken a piece of foiled paper from the paper pad, and I've chosen this starry sky design, which I think is beautiful. So again, I'm just going to get some foam pads and stick that on with some foam pads. There we go. Just peel off the backs of those and stick on our paper. Okay, then I've taken one of the decorative ovals and die cut that from some gold mirror card, and I'm just going to carefully push out just all those little edges just that haven't fallen away. Those tiny little dots. You can see how beautifully it's cut from the mirror card. Just needs a little helping hand just at those little tiny dots. So easy just to push through with your pokey tool, like so. There we go. That's all done. Then I'm going to again add some foam pads onto the back of here. And then I'm going to stick this just off centre onto our card, like so. Okay, then I've taken one of the basic oval dies and cut that from some Quartz pearl card, just so that it fits inside of the decorative circle, like so. Okay, and I'm going to just dust that over with an anti-static bag. And then I've taken one of the verses from the Elegant Christmas Verses set, and this one says, "May your days be merry and bright this Christmas season and throughout the new year," which I just thought was a lovely sentiment. So again, I'm going to ink that up with our Wow Clear embossing ink pad. So, and then I'm just going to carefully stamp that into the centre of our oval. And then just grabbing that piece of paper, and I'm just going to heat emboss that with some metallic gold rich superfine wow powder. I'm just going to cover it in that, put that back into our jar, and I'm just going to heat that up. Just waiting for that powder to melt and change, and carefully moving that heat gun over the sentiment. Doesn't take very long to heat the sentiments up, the writing being quite fine. There we go. Okay, and I'm just going to edge that. I'm just going to give it a little waft just to cool it off a little bit, because I don't want to smudge that wow powder. And then I'm just going to edge that in some Crystallina glitter. So again, just taking my chisel tip glue pen, just going to butt it up to the edge and just carefully drag it around the oval, carefully moving the oval round like so. Okay, I'm bringing my Crystallina glitter, and I'm just going to dunk that in here all the way around and tap off the excess. And just gives it that lovely little sparkly border. Okay, again I'm going to add that onto our card using some foam pads. Again, using the 3mm foam pads on a roll, like so, and one more. Just take the backs off those, and then I'm just going to add our sentiment into the centre. There we go. Okay, now to make those beautiful sparkly poinsettias, what I've done is I've taken the whole poinsettia die, and I've cut that 3 times from some Quartz pearl card. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this in a second. And then I've taken the decorative one and I've cut that twice from Quartz pearl card. Okay, so if I bring in my plates again, I'm going to use my clear cutting plate. My plastic shim, I'm also going to use my metal shim, just to give that decorative one that little bit extra welly when I'm putting it through our machine. I'm going to carefully just tape these into position with some low tack tape, like so. And flip those over, and then I'm going to put my clear cutting plate on top and run those through my machine. Just grab those. You can see those have cut out beautifully. I'll just move my plates. I'm just going to carefully push those through. So you can see how this one's more of a solid with those lovely etch lines in. And then we've got our poinsettia with that lovely decorative detailing. Okay, I'll just move those guys over here. So I'm just going to carefully push out those little pieces. like so. Just carefully pushing them through with a pokey tool. Okay, there we go. Just grab that piece from the back. There we go. Okay, I'll just get rid of those. Okay, then what I've done is I've done that another 2 times for the solid one, and I've done it another once from the decorative one. Okay, now to make them up, all I did was created a valley fold down the centre. Now it makes it nice and easy because you've got those perforated lines. Okay, so I'm just going to carefully create a valley fold down the centre of each of those petals. Like so, and the third one. There we go. Okay, I'm going to grab in my Dries clear glue. I'm just going to add a blob to the centre, and I'm going to carefully offset this one a little bit and stick that one onto there. Just holding it in there with your finger just for it to grab. And I'm going to add another blob of glue, and I'm going to add the third poinsettia. So again, just offsetting it so we can see all those lovely petals. Okay. I'm just going to move that over there. Now for the decorative layer, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in our sticky bit of paper, because I'm going to cover these in some glue. So I'm going to use my chisel tip glue pen, and I'm just going to apply glue all over the petals, like so. So just carefully applying that glue all over those petals. Probably will get quite sticky doing this, but that's okay. We all like to get a little bit messy now and then, especially if glitter's involved. Okay, so that one's all glued up. I'm just going to add some glue to this one. Like so. Onto this petal. And lastly to this petal. Okay. Move the sticky bit of paper out of the way again, and I'm going to cover these in our beautiful Stardust Gold Sparkelicious. I'm just going to cover them in that glitter. Again, if there's any areas that you have missed, I think that's perfect to cover, but if you've missed any areas, just go back in with your glue pen and then dunk it back in the glitter. Sometimes it's quite hard to see with the glue being quite clear that you're not quite sure where you've covered. Okay, pop those down and just put this glitter back into the pot. Oh. Okay. Okay, so then you can see we've got our beautifully glittered poinsettias. So again, I'm just going to carefully, not pinching too hard, but just to kind of give them that little bit of shape in those petals. And same with the other one. Again, I'm doing it from underneath, so I'm trying to be careful to not touch that glitter too much. Just like so. Pinching, there we go. I'm going to add a blob of glue to the centre of the flower again. I'm just going to pull these petals up a little bit, and I'm just going to stick those to the centre. Again, I'm going to add a blob of glue into the middle. I'm going to pull those petals up, offset those petals, and stick that into the centre again. Just holding it with my finger just to let that glue grab. Okay, then what I've done is I've added a pearl to the centre of each. So I've used the Everyday Essentials Bling box, and I've used the cream pearls. So I've used 3 of the large pearls and I've used one of the medium sized pearls. Okay, and I'm just going to add a blob of glue to the centre of each flower, and then I'm going to stick in our lovely pearls. Might just need a little bit of help just to grab onto that glue, like so. That one is not wanting to stay in there. Okay, and just carefully, I'm going to add a little bit more glue to that one. He doesn't want to stay in that flower. There we go, and our medium pearl into the little one. Okay, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to arrange our flowers onto our card. Okay, so I'm going to bring in our card again, but we've done all of our layers on, and I'm going to add our two larger ones here. I'm going to add our smaller one, I think, at the bottom, and our medium one at the top. And I'm just going to glue those into place using some 3D glue gel. Okay, so I'm just going to add a blob to the back of each, like so. That pearl is not wanting to stay in there. I think it's because the flower isn't quite dry. I'll just carefully stick that back together. Okay, I might just stick it in with a little bit of 3D glue gel. It might just help it just to grab a little bit easier. There we go. Okay, add our medium flower up here. I'll just carefully stick our pearl back in. Okay, and once they're dry, if you leave these to dry before you assemble the card, then you won't have this problem. And we'll just add a little bit of glue to our smaller one. Okay, and you can see there that our card's really starting to come along lovely. Okay, so then the finishing touch, all I've done is I've taken the little die from the Poinsettia Bauble stamp and die set, and it's got these three little branches on. So what I've done is I've cut that 4 times from a piece of gold mirror card, okay, and then they come out like this, and they're just lovely little fillers just to tuck in behind those flowers. So I've got 4 of those, and all I'm going to do is just apply a little bit of glue gel to the back, and carefully I'm just going to tuck those underneath our flowers, just so that you can see them popping out from our poinsettias like so. One in here, and then one down here, and you can add as many of those or as few of those as you like. It's entirely up to you, it's personal preference. Okay, but it looks stunning. So there is our finished project for today. I really hope you've enjoyed me learning how to make this beautiful card. As always, all of the products are available to buy on www.chloescreativecards.co.uk, and all of the products that I've used in today's demo will be listed in the description below, so please check those out. Thank you for watching. Bye.